Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Julie with Bookshelf by Julie. Today we're going to be doing our split stitch on our top bow. I know it doesn't look top now, but it's going to be our top bow, like so. We're going to do this little bit here, and it'll take a minute, but I think it's worth it to do the split stitch on that. It just gives it that little bit of extra pretty and texture and stuff, so that's what we're going to do today. Hope you guys are caught up. Got all your light green in, or your one green, two green, you know, that kind of thing. Because the leaves are the second green. So we'll call this one the first green. It's done. Okay, so some of this might not be seen completely, but we're going to start right here anyways, just because it's and I'm going to make my stitches fairly small, a little bit less than 1/4 inch, we'll say. Do what's comfortable to you. If you can, if you need to do them bigger, do them bigger. It's fine. It's all good. Okay? And I thought I would show you, when I first showed you how to do the split stitch, we come up from the bottom to do it, right? That's just the way I always did it. But there's always more than one way to do something, right? So I'm going to show you another way to do it while we're doing this. I mean, why not? You know, we're right here at it, right? These stitches, there's a lot of different ways to do a lot of stitches, and maybe this way will be easier for you. I don't know. It's all up to you. As we go up, I'll make a couple of stitches like this because you kind of have to. You go over here. I think as you do your, you know, go forward on your journey as a stitcher, you know, you just, you know, you learn different ways to do things. And sometimes this works better for some people. So we're going to go in there. I keep getting a tangle, but that's okay. See, I just went in the top of it and went right in the middle that way, okay? So then to do the next one, you come over here and hold still. You go right in the middle there. Now this may be easier for some people to do, to go into that middle from the top instead of from the bottom. And if it's easier for you to do that, then do that. Because, you know, you want to do this in a way that's easy for you, okay? I've got a little bit of thread that's trying to sneak in there. It's this one. Could be an ornery. I will glue you down. Okay, so I'll put this over here. It's in the way. All right. So, for me, I've just always done it from the underneath, and that's okay. It's a little bit maybe tedious for some people to do it that way, but it's okay. Either way you want to do it, you know. Let me make sure. I think it had a knot. It did. Always be feeling underneath to make sure, you know. Have your fingers under there. That's important so that you don't get a big bunch of stuff knotting up on you. Okay, then we're going to go around here. Turn our little corner. So yeah, you guys decide which way you like doing the split stitch, from the bottom or from the top. Either way, comes out the same, and you know, it's just personal preference, really. Personal preference. Okay. I can see where it would be easier for some to do it from the top, which is fine. I think I just got used to doing it this way, so that's what I do. But yeah, you can't tell the difference. I mean, it's the same exact stitch, so you can't tell the difference if you switch back and forth even. If you've got one that's a little bit more difficult to find the center, then go to the front and do it that way. It's okay. We're just going to get these in here. Then we're going to do our French knot right in the middle. Now, if you don't like them, then put a bead in there. This is the exact page or design that you can use a lot of different beads and different things like that for embellishments, especially when we get to the berries and such. You can use beads there for sure. So put a bead in there if you want. You have my permission. You don't need my permission, but you know, you can do that. Okay, I can do this too. For some reason it's wanting to, oh, I see. My one thread's trying to hang on to the other thread. Yep, that's what happens sometimes. Yep, and we're all clear. All clear. Okay. So, yeah, I hope you guys are getting these done, because even if you don't want to make a stitch book, you might want to make those journal covers, because, you know, they're going to be pretty. I think it'll be very similar-ish to like when we made this, piecing pieces together and such and such and such and such. But it'll be really pretty. We might add some more stitches. We've got a lot of, we can do like seed stitches and little cross stitches and different things like that to add in some texture to the design, especially on the ones that are a little bit more blank. Okay, I'm going to go over here and start here now for the other side of the bow. Sure I am. Okay, and so, you know, I'm going to do that on video if I get enough people interested. Hopefully, you know. If not, I'll just show and tell. Because I'm going to do them. I think it's going to be really pretty. The designs here would be the focal point of the page like this is. And then you just go forward and do your other pieces. And I don't know. I think it's going to be really beautiful. I think I knotted up again. Yep. Always be feeling around for that kind of thing, because it's important to do that. Come on. I hate it when it gets a good knot in there. It's annoying. Okay. Now. All right. Okay. We're going to, and if you hear my tummy growling, that's not my fault. I'll get something to eat in a little bit. I like to film early in the morning. And, you know, I got the best light then, and everything's usually quieter around the house and all that. So, it works best for me. Yeah. I think this little, it's one of my favorite stitches actually. It really is. It's just pretty. I always look for ways to use it. And put it in design. I remember back as a teenager, you know how teenagers are. Anyways, I had to embroider everything all over my clothes. I remember a denim jacket I had, and it had so many embroidered things on it. I don't know whatever happened to that jacket. It was really uniquely me, I guess. I don't know where it went. But I embroidered so many things on that. Flowers and different things. Words. Stuff, you know. Would love to see it now. I don't know whatever happened to it. You know how that goes. But it was a fun project. I wore it everywhere. Yep, it is gone from my memory though. Whatever happened to it? Probably my mother stole it from me when I was out or something. I mean, you know, I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, I think I might do it from the front here. Let me see if I can do this. Let me pull it around from the front and I'll show you again that front one. Because I'm turning this curve and this one is wanting to be a little bit further over that way. So I'm going to go in from the top. Right in there to do my split stitch. Now this is a way that I learned to do it to help myself go around a tight curve. You know, and it does work. So there you go. Looks awesome, right? I think it does. Stitching is fun. Can't help myself. It is. It's really fun. So anyways, yeah, we'll just stay on the top now just because we already did this. You can switch back and forth easily. I mean, really, you can. Come on now. It's not a problem. So, yeah, I just thought I would share the, you know, the top split stitch. I don't know if that's a real name or not, but some people only do it this way. I learned to do it from underneath. I learned it from a book long years ago. So I guess I'm sort of a self-taughter. Always love books. You can learn things from them. And you can go places without ever leaving, you know? I don't know if you guys are that way, but I've always loved a good adventure. A mystery. Not scary stuff. But, you know, a good mystery is a good thing. All right. Hey. All right, so I want to go around this a little bit just in case my French knot doesn't cover the whole thing, because I want it to be, you know, covered. I guess is the best way to put that. I'm just going to use a straight stitch, back stitch, whatever you want to call that, to go around it so that it is, come on now, so that it's got thread there. Now this top one really won't matter, but I'm putting it there anyways, cause, okay, all right, okay. It's just filling in, because these are just filler stitches, you know. but the French knot should cover everything. It's just sometimes they're this way or that way, and you go, I just wanted that to be, you know, that color. So I'm just going to do these. You can do this in a lot of situations, really, because, you know, sometimes it's not the back stitch, sometimes it's a satin stitch, you know, it just is what it is. So I'm going to come right up in the middle. Now, if you're doing a bead, still come right up in the middle, somewhere in there. Yeah, just come right up in the middle. Make sure everything's feeling like it's all right back behind the area, you know. All right, so I'm going to go around 3 times for sure, and then go right back down in there in the same place, holding this taut. Pull it through. There you are. Isn't that adorable? Now we've got our split stitch around here, our French knot in the middle, and this is what we're going to do next time. We'll do the woven rows up here, and we'll do at least one of these. That's pretty quick to do those. This I wanted to show you because I did 2 of them. When I did this, I did one, and then I did another one to wrap around it so that it'll be a little bit bigger. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, we're making progress inch by inch. It's a cinch, guys. Come on. Get your little split stitches and either your bead or your French knot in there. It's going to be gorgeous. Well, you see, it's really pretty. And this isn't even finished. We still got to put our berries in there. Okay. You guys get caught up and do all this stuff and have a good time doing it. Don't be in a hurry. You got a whole week. Okay? All right. You guys take care. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. TTFN.